time for illegal ham in the face. But bro, where's the banjo?
Some Cleveland sports shows try to give you hot takes, but only one can give you a big old piece of hot ham. Welcome to Illegal Ham to the Face. Talking all Cleveland sports. And don't forget our Fat Boy Tuesday, where we also ham it up with some fun food topics. Without further ado, let's serve up some ham. Here are the Ham Boys, Fatty, and Big Bry.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome on into Legal Ham of the Face. We are live here on a special Monday, our Christmas special on here and Network 216. We are brought to you by Harold Keel and Lake Erie APA, also City Dogs Cleveland. We do have a adoptable dog tonight, still Gazelle, but hopefully we can get her adopted. Also, it's right before Christmas. If you can, please adopt, donate, volunteer, whatever you can do to help out City Dogs Cleveland. We appreciate it. They're near and dear to our heart, and can't thank everybody enough that has helped and has gone to the Browns games and gone to the Dog Pound Section 121, bought food from there. Also, all of the benefits they've done. The next thing coming up, big one. I believe I will be there. I believe Big Bry will be there. I got to make sure, but we will be there for Puck for Paws. It is in March. I think it's March 4th. It's a Saturday there at the Romo Fiho Ho Ho. And they're going to Cleveland Monsters game, and they're going to have Pucks for Paws. You can bring your dog in. They have a section for dogs in the stadium there, so you just come in and hang out. Other than that, I am that fat guy, and let's bring him in. He just got his trivia question. He is Big Bry. What's going on, big fella?
Hey, man. How you doing?
Good. Merry Christmas, brother.
Happy Festivus.
Is it Festivus today? Oh, it is Festivus today.
Today's Festivus, yeah.
Nice.
So we got the airing of grievances here afterwards. Really looking forward to that.
We have Justin joining us tonight. Doing a little hookers and blow read along before we get into Fat Boy Tuesday tonight, which we're just going to talk Christmas food, Bri. Anything Christmas food. I know you do something different for Christmas food. This year, we're doing a little something different for Christmas food. And we'll just talk a little Christmas food tonight. Also, we're going to do our top 3 Christmas songs later. We haven't really got dibbled into songs that much. I think we had a couple of hip-hop sections. 90s hip-hop, I think we had. But this is going to be new for us. Top 3 Christmas songs. It's definitely going to be an interesting one there. And then, Brian, we're going to talk about the Browns, talk about the college football playoffs, and talk about a little bit of Gardo news that came out while we were away. But, Brian, how was your weekend, my man? Everything good? You got any shout outs?
Had a great weekend. No, not really shout outs, just spending time with family, spending time with in-laws, getting the final shopping done. Went to a store today, and it was just absolutely packed. So yeah, people are all out there kind of doing the same thing. So thankfully, I don't have much to do tomorrow other than I will be working and then going to church and going to my aunt and uncle's for a little post-party or post-church celebration, appetizers, couple drinks, and then, with the little one back home by 7, put her to bed.
So you're not Catholic, so you're not doing mass or anything of that nature, right?
No, my mother-in-law is, and she will be staying with us tomorrow night because she lives about 40 minutes away. So that's kind of something we've been maneuvering through. She needs to go to Catholic service, so I think my wife and her are going to be going Christmas morning to a service.
Okay. You're not going? You're not joining on the festivities?
I'll be going. No, I don't think so, but I might be. We're all going to church at the Medina Methodist or maybe even the Brunswick Methodist Church tomorrow. Okay. So we'll be going to church tomorrow, maybe also Saturday morning. I don't know.
Because if you do You do the Catholic one. It's a lot of kneeling, big fella. It's a lot of up and down. I just
Well,
want to make sure that you're on the same
and
page.
it's a longer service, so with a 7-month-old, I might sit that one out and just keep her at home.
All right. The only shout outs I got is my family back home. Had a great weekend with them. Had a great weekend with Chris. Sun Cruisers and Fireball and wine and sugar cookies and icing. And Brian, we did an appetizer meal.
Oh,
dude, it was the best.
Tell me about it.
Chris made some buffalo chicken dip. We made some chili cheese dip. We had the little smoked sausages and whatever sauce it is.
Barbecue sauce, yeah.
We had bagel bites. We had pizza rolls. He hooked me on these potato puffs. They're called like tater skins, but they're not tater skins. But on the inside, it's like a twice baked potato that you can air fry.
Oh, okay. Hey, how could that be bad?
Not only we had chicken wings, we had a meat and cheese tray. We have vegetables there, and I don't know why we have vegetables there, but vegetables were there with the homemade French onion dip that my sister made. Man, it was a great time. We had a black shrimp cocktail. We had a blast, and I mean, not like a little bit blast. As we asked my mother if she started drinking vodka in her water earlier in the day, because when we started playing cards, it kind of got funny. She told us to shut the hell up, her exact words.
Uh-huh.
But no, it
enough.
was a great time. Got to see all my family, Nancy, my Aunt Ressie, my dad, my mom, Chris was there, nephews, Gavin, Tristan, Jocelyn. We had a great time. It was a great weekend. We watched football. It was just an enjoyable time, getaway for everything, and just a great time. Can't thank them enough. And Bri, I got another shout out, buddy. Bri, congratulations, my brother.
Okay.
I think you have climbed the top of the illegal ham to the face fantasy football league, but our finals are set, buddy. There's nothing that can happen tonight. Big Bri, you took out the Portage County Prostitutes.
That's right. That's right. Show you, Phillips.
And Mark Roeder took out Lauren by 2 points.
Yep.
We have our final set. So we're friend versus friend. Brian, you want to start talking some crap? Little talking crap here?
I already sent him packing in another league this past weekend we were playing. And he went to the Buffalo Bills Patriots game. So, and he's a big Bills fan. So he had a bunch of Bills on his team. And that was very fortuitous for my team because they did not do very well. Josh Allen didn't have his typical 75 points or whatever he puts up. So I got a couple guys going tonight, but it doesn't matter in that one either. So I took him out 1 week. I'll take him out a second week.
All right. We have our final set. New champion will be crowned next week. Stay tuned. We still have to figure out a time for next week's show. It might be, what do you want to do? You want to go back to a Thursday?
Well, I was thinking I'd probably do next Monday if it was like at 8 o'clock.
Oh, we could do it.
Unless that's too late for you.
No, I think we could do an 8 o'clock Monday.
Okay. Because we'll have to be back home. We're going to my mom's for dinner, but we'll have to be back home to put baby to bed. So once she's sleeping, I should be good to go.
Let me double check with wife and make sure when I go downstairs after this, but that should be good to go. So soft verbal as we commit, as we always do. Bri, let's get into our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Let's get the show started so we can get out here and watch some Monday Night Football. They changed everything on StreamYard right now, so I'm trying to get used to it. Give me 1 second. All right, our trivia is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. Bri, I told them Puck for Paws is coming up in March. I know I am going. Yeah. I bought tickets for me and the kids. Are you going to try to make an appearance at Puck for Paws? Maybe we could do a little TikTok video for City Dogs Cleveland with the mascot there.
That sounds like a good time. The only weekend would be out of question would be the first weekend of March, but
I think
other
that
than
might
that,
be the
I don't
weekend.
think we have anything. Oh,
I think
come
it's
on.
March 4th. I think it's March 4th, but we'll figure it out. We have time. We'll figure it out.
Sure.
But we do have Gazelle is still there. Beautiful dog. Look, I still can't believe that dog's still there. Look at that face. I mean, it's just dog there, and all these other dogs are still adoptable at City Dogs Cleveland. I really want that dog right there, Bri. I tried to talk my wife into it. She will not let me do it. Look at that face. Does that not look like a Bates face right there? That belongs in the Bates family.
Look at the stubby little legs, too.
Hey, perfect. Perfect for this family. Perfect for this family. But if you want to adopt, please go to City Dogs Cleveland. Check them out. Just type in City Dogs or type in Friends of City Dogs. They can help you out. And if you cannot adopt, please volunteer, donate, whatever you can do to help out a city dog this Christmas and holiday season. All right, Brian, it is your turn for trivia. My trivia took off on our other social feeds. Had a lot of people missing out on the Nick Mullins and a lot of people missing out on the, good God, who was the last guy? Nah, I can't forget his name. Driscoll, yes. So everybody else, I even got my brother-in-law involved. He didn't watch it because he's working. Dude, listen to this. He works for, can't say the store right now, but he is working 6 days a week, buddy, open to close most nights, and has to work Sundays. Yeah, not fun.
That's
not
tough. Fun. Crazy season.
Yes, it is. But if you can, please go do City Dogs. Bri, trivia is going to be fun. What do you got for me tonight?
Well, I got some college trivia, college football and basketball. Since 2010, the last 14, almost 15 years now, there are 6 schools that have been ranked number 1 in the AP in both football and basketball. Name those 6 schools.
Now, is this at the beginning of the year or just throughout their season? Or
at any point. At any point, even if it's only for a week.
But it has to be together.
Nope. Just they have been number 1 in football in the last 15 years. They've been number 1 at some point in basketball in the last 15 years.
All right, that sounds fun. I like it.
Only 6. Only 6. Yep.
6.
You think about it. Like, who are the basketball blue bloods? Kentucky, Duke, North Carolina, Kansas. All of them. None of them are really good at football.
Well, I know one. I'm going to take it off the list. Michigan.
Maybe. I don't know.
No, there's no maybe about it. I know Michigan was ranked number 1 in basketball, and then also they won the national championship, so they were 1. So that's 1 off the list, right? Can I get at least 1 off the list?
That is 1. That is 1. Yep.
That's 1 off the list. So all right, so let's get to
Michigan. I'll give you a clue later. There is, well, I'll give you the clue later.
Okay. All right.
It's not a huge clue, but once you figure out what the clue is in your head, you should be able to rattle them off pretty quick.
All right. I like it. All right, Bri. Well, let's get into the fun part of our show. Comment. Oh, Justin, I can't look at that yet. Don't send me those comments. Bri will get upset. I got to stop looking at the comments, Bri. No. It's for the trivia. I got to wait a little bit. Before I look at that one.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, let's bump it into our Cleveland headlines and talk some sports, brother. All right, your Cleveland headlines tonight. First off, Brian, we got some Cards news this weekend that kind of didn't really shock people, kind of saw it coming, but one kind of shocked me. We got rid of Josh Naylor, traded to the Arizona Diamondbacks. We got a right-handed pitcher and then a pick in the B something special draft. I don't know what the hell it is. Pitcher is a...
Do you know what that is?
No, I have no clue what that is. I'm not that into baseball.
No, I've never heard of that before. In my head, just reading, just understanding the pick, it sounded like it's a like a special draft to maybe help the small market teams?
Well,
Something like that.
I know there's like a special 8 draft where you have your 40-man roster that they kind of lock in, and then everybody else is kind of like not up for grabs, but almost like an expansion thing where you can pick some people that are okay that will help fill out a roster. You know what I mean? Like platoon players, stuff like that. Not like big name players. I don't think any big name players came off of it, but they did trade to Arizona for a right-handed pitcher. And I believe hopefully I still have it saved in my phone, this pitcher's name, because it sounds like Slade. His first name is Slade Ciccione.
Well
He is
done.
a right-handed pitcher. He's only, I think, 26. Started for Arizona and has a couple bullpen sessions. So, Brian, they're loading up on starting pitching again. And
But it didn't sound like his numbers were that impressive.
No,
right?
it's not.
What I heard this morning.
No, his numbers were not that impressive. It's Ciccione. It's not Slade Wilson. Ciccione. But his numbers aren't that impressive. But from what they're saying, it's a development thing. His first year in the bigs was, I believe, last year, like full year in the bigs. So he's only had 1 year in the bigs. And plus, Bri, what does Cleveland Guardians do the best? They develop pitching,
I guess.
And
right.
Buddy, it's an arm to either throw in the bullpen or at the back end of this rotation, put some competition in there with these guys. See what happens. But the other signing that happened, which shocked the shit on me, welcome back, Carlos Santana.
Yeah.
Silos coming back. 1 year, $11 million deal to play first base again.
For the third time?
No, it'd be the second time.
Oh, I thought he left and came back already.
No, I don't think he left and came back.
He signed with like the Phillies or something.
Yeah, but I don't think he came back to us.
It doesn't matter.
No, but Silos is coming back. I believe he is going to be 40 years old here soon. Can you imagine Silos being 40 years old? That makes you feel really old, doesn't it, Bri? But the good thing is,
it actually makes me feel young.
Well, the thing is with Silos,
he's still playing professional sports.
Oh, and still playing good though. I mean, he's not a power hitter. He's going to get on base. We know what he is already. He will take a lot of pitches, and that's what Cleveland kind of looks at, is taking a lot of pitches. So, and he did all right with Minnesota last year, but Bryce, still at his age, still a great defensive first baseman. He really is. And it was a money thing to get rid of Naylor, and I understand that. Get a prospect for him. I just want to, fan favorite of mine, I want to thank Josh Naylor for the things he did here in Cleveland. The bat flips, the helmet tosses, the headbutts, everything he did. Thank you, because it was exciting for me, especially after you completely shattered your whole one leg 1 year and came back from it. So I just thank you, Josh Naylor. I mean, how do you feel about Josh Naylor leaving, bud?
Yeah, like you said, it wasn't a huge shock, but it is kind of, to me at least, a little bit of a head scratcher, I guess. Not fully understanding the reason for. I understand. I thought, like, okay, yeah, we're probably not going to re-sign him. I think he's entering his last year of contract, so get rid of him now while you can get something for him. But what we got for him, to me, wasn't that spectacular. But yeah, like you said, sometimes you have to just trust the Guardians front office, because they turn these guys that are nothing special into rotation guys or back of the bullpen guys. And certainly by the end of last year, we needed all the starting pitching we could get, because we were we were scraping the bottom of the bin there. But yeah, like you said, it could be a salary dump thing. Certainly understand that. We've been through that before with the Indians and the Guardians. But also, I think they maybe more wanted to just give Manzardo a chance. And
I mean, that's exactly what it is.
Yeah, but by having Naylor in there, you kind of know what you're going to get with him, even though it kind of looked like he ran out of gas or something, in the playoffs. He turned it on towards the end of the New York series, but he didn't really seem to give us a whole lot, and he's kind of just a clog in the middle of the lineup there. And Manzardo gave you some hope in the postseason. I feel like he had some good at bats, but yeah, I think that's what it was. I think it was, hey, we know what Naylor's going to give us. It is going to be hard. I mean, as much as I dogged him in the playoffs, he gave you 30 and 100 RBIs, which is not, they don't just grow on trees here. So he had a pretty decent regular season last year, and he's going to be hard to replace. But they're high on this Manzardo, and it's time to turn the page. And so they saw the opportunity to get rid of him, and they might have wanted to do right by him too a little bit by getting him started with the next step in his career. And to me, a little bit of me is concerned, I guess, about Bo Naylor and how this affects him, just knowing how close they are. So we'll see. Time will tell. It's going to suck having him not there as a locker room guy and kind of a leader of this team, but his production, I feel like, I don't know. I meant to ask you what Santana's stats were last year. You said he was with Minnesota. I didn't even know he was still in the league.
Oh, yeah, he was with Minnesota. Hold on.
But, I mean, if he's batting 240, 250, and he's giving you, I don't know. Maybe he probably wasn't a full-time starter for them, but if he was a full-time starter, he's giving you 20, 25 home runs and hitting 240, 250, I would say he's a good signing.
So last year he batted pretty much 240. It was like 238. Had 71 RBIs, 124 hits, 63 runs scored, and 521 at bats.
How many homers?
Hold on. Getting there. Give me a second. 23.
I mean, okay. All right. So that's not too bad.
No.
Yeah, it's not a bad signing then.
No, because you're going to.
We know he can be a locker room guy too.
He's 38. Well, he's a veteran. He's a veteran you're bringing in. And the great thing about him is if you're really wanting to do Manzardo at first, Bri, you got a guy in there that could still DH and not. We finally got somebody that can actually take some pitches too after Jose Ramirez. Josh Naylor was never taking pitches. Josh Naylor was swinging out of his shoes for everything that he got. So you finally start getting guys in the lineup that kind of can protect Jose Ramirez, knowing that, you're going to pitch it against Santana. It's going to be a battle because he doesn't, he walks a lot. I remember the one year he had the most walks in the MLB. And it wasn't even intentional walks. He just takes a lot of pitches. He eats a lot of innings. And that's what these guys do to try to get to the bullpen now. So I think it's a little savvy move for and also, especially with Jimenez going with second base. We're backloaded at second base in the minors. It's time to get some of these younger guys a chance. And Jimenez wasn't that great at the plate. Granted, he was a platinum glove defensive guy, but you need some people at the plate now. And it shows real quickly because we've had a gap at the plate for how long. So they're trying to kind of fill that gap in with some younger guys that they hope can fill that gap. So, but no, I like Carlos Santana. I've always liked Carlos Santana, even when they brought him in as a pitcher or as a catcher and then tried to play him at third base. And then that's when Jose took over third base. Then he switched over to first base. He even played outfield for a little bit. I believe, was it 20 during the World Series? Didn't he play like right field one game or something like that?
Maybe, possibly.
So it's just nice to have a guy that's been in there, been around the league. He's 38 years old. It's like the veteran in the locker room. So it'd be nice to have him back. And especially I know Jose loves Carlos. So that'd be another kind of, we got rid of one of your friends. We're bringing another one back kind of thing. Keep Jose happy. But, we'll see what happens with the Guardians here a little bit later. But, I mean, it's just news that hits us during the winter meetings. And this is probably the last we're going to hear from the Guardians until spring training.
Probably. Yeah, you're right there.
All right, Brian, let's talk college football playoff. What a weekend of games it was. Not really. Brian, none of these games were close. I mean, none of them were close. Like you could say Clemson and Texas was close. It wasn't even close.
That was about the only one.
I mean, SMU
It was kind of close.
just got destroyed by Penn State. And not a little bit destroyed. That quarterback had no idea where he was playing. You saw the SMU players on the sidelines just teeth chattering and cold as cold could be in that climate. You had Indiana going up against Notre Dame. I thought that might have been a game, but Notre Dame showed you what Notre Dame is. All these teams this weekend kind of forecasted of what this, final 8, final 4 are going to be. And the Ohio State game, Bri, God, I felt bad for Tennessee. I really did. Like Jeremiah Smith.
No, you shouldn't.
Oh, well, I shouldn't, but I do because I'm sitting here watching the entire game. Bri, I'm not going to lie. Chris and I were sitting here looking at each other. I'm like, where was this shit during Michigan? Like, those are the plays you should have been running during the Michigan game. And look, they just carved them up, Bri. It wasn't even like a little bit carved up. Like, Will Howard had his best game. Jeremiah Smith looked like a Heisman Trophy winner. Like, it was just crazy. And I put it out on Network 216. And will Jeremiah Smith win the Heisman before he leaves college?
It's almost impossible. Almost impossible for a wide receiver to win it unless
Devontae Smith did it.
Like, that's true. That's true. That's the guy. Yep. I was trying to think of the last one to do it. Like Desmond Howard did it, but he was kind of a return guy too. Tim Brown, did he win it?
Mm-hmm.
I think
Charles
Larry
Woodson.
Fitzgerald finished pretty high. Woodson was kind of like, well, I guess you could say this year was Travis Hunter.
Yep.
I mean, for a wide receiver to win it, you need a year where there's not a spectacular quarterback or running back performance.
Or
Put
up some of the game tape that he put up this year, Brian. Now, he was a no-show during the Michigan game.
Yeah, but look at it. I mean, the Heisman's about stats. I mean, his numbers were great. His numbers were great for a freshman, but were they like? Was he head and shoulders above the other wide receivers in the country?
Well, no,
that I know of.
But also, you got to factor in, they were not just great for a freshman; they were top tier for a freshman. I don't think there's any other freshman that has put up numbers like that. Yeah, for a freshman, but not many freshmen come out of the gate looking like that, Bri. I haven't seen a freshman wide receiver take over games like he has.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, so it would be in the conversation, I guess. But also with wide receivers, you're dependent on another position to do well for you.
Yeah,
you're dependent on a good quarterback. Devontae Smith had Mac Jones. He had a first-round quarterback throwing him the ball. If Ohio State, their next quarterback isn't anything special, or maybe their next quarterback is special, but he goes down with a season-ending injury. Look at all the great wide receivers in the NFL that get drafted high, and you can make the case Marvin Harrison Jr. Everyone thought he was going to set the league on fire. He has not. Whatever reason that is, maybe his quarterback's just not able to get him the ball. I don't know. So yeah, you could be great. Randy Moss, when he went to Oakland, he was still great. He was still elite, but he just didn't have a quarterback that could get him the ball. So there's a lot of factors for a wide receiver. And then you need an offensive line. You need a scheme that's going to fit you. There's a lot of things that go into a wide receiver winning that award, I would think.
Well, let's go back to the weekend, Bri. All home teams pretty much blew out. What was your reaction to that? Like, I was expecting at least maybe a couple close games. Bri, they weren't even close. I mean, it was just an ass whooping all around for the home teams.
Yeah, it was a huge buzzkill because all the home teams were pretty sizable favorites. I think Ohio State might have been only favored by a touchdown, and that was like the closest game. So you're like, okay, maybe that one will be close, or you might talk yourself another one. Like, I thought the SMU Penn State game would be close. But no, they're all not a game going into the fourth quarter.
No.
And it was, I mean, the Indiana Notre Dame score the final score will tell you, okay, it was kind of close. Notre Dame was up 27-3 with 4 minutes left, and then they let up. I didn't even see the highlight. They didn't even show it on the highlights how Indiana scored their final 2 touchdowns in the last 4 minutes. But that one was a blowout. The Clemson Texas game was maybe the only one that was maybe a little intriguing because Texas got up big, but then Clemson clawed their way back, and then they had it like 4th and 1 from the 1 yard line, fourth and goal from the 1 yard line, and had they punched it in, it would have got it to a 1-score game. But then they got stopped, and so they never got it within a touchdown. So, yeah, I mean, it kind of reaffirms what I thought all along, that 12 was maybe too much. I think 8 is maybe a better number. And I understand you're going to upset some teams doing it that way. And really this year, I think there's only like 6 teams. I don't think Arizona State or Boise can really have a shot at winning a championship. So I think there's really like 6 teams, and you can even make a case for less. You can make a case for 4 teams that really have a shot at it. So, but you're kind of weeding out the good stories this year, and all the teams that lost big this weekend, they were deserving to be there. Their record was deserving to be there, but they're just not as talented as some of these powerhouse schools that they were going up against. So, yeah, it was, I don't know. For me as a fan, it was a buzzkill because you get all excited for this because this is the first time we've seen this, and then nothing. I think what I hear, there was maybe 1 lead change for the whole weekend. Like pretty much the team that was favored scored early and just hung on to the lead, if not grew the lead by 2 or 3 touchdowns, maybe 4 touchdowns. So, yeah, it was kind of a letdown, I would say.
Yeah, I kind of too, because I was hoping for I was actually hoping for, I bet Indiana and SMU just for some McDonald's money, maybe hopefully get an upset over the teams that I didn't think were poised, but Notre Dame just came out and just showed what Indiana was, and Penn State finally showed up and just by their defense. I would love to have that defensive end right next to Myles Garrett. Holy cow, that guy is amazing. Just unreal. But so far we have Ohio State versus Oregon. That's going to be in the Rose Bowl. Arizona State and Texas, Notre Dame and Georgia, and Penn State and the Boise State Broncos. Bri, who you got in the Final Four?
Well, much like I went chalk last weekend. Gosh, I don't want to go chalk again. I think the team that, Ohio State and Oregon is pretty much a coin flip. So
Ohio State's favored in that game.
Yeah, by a couple, right?
Still, it's favored on a neutral field.
Well, they're getting the bump because they look like everyone thought Ohio State would look all year. Their most recent game. Had they gone out and won by, because let's be honest, I mean, Tennessee did not look good, and it could certainly be because Ohio State's offense and defense is that great. Certainly, that could be the case. For sure, their defense, because their defense is very talented, and their offense has the big playability, like we saw. I mean, even you look at those Smith touchdowns. What do you have? 2 of them. Howard just kind of took like a 3-step drop and just kind of threw it up there, and it was a 50-50 ball basically. And
the one was not a 50-50 ball. He dropped that thing right in the basket, Bri.
No, I'm not saying that they were bad throws or anything like that. But I mean, he's just he knew what the read was. Oh, you're going to give that guy single coverage? Okay, I'm just going to drop back and I'm just going to throw it up to him and trust that he's going to make the play, and he did. And will other teams learn from that and not play that kind of coverage? You would think, but Another thing is, as much as people want to talk about the weather and it doesn't have a factor, I firmly believe it always has a factor, especially when you get Southern teams coming north. And I'm not to discredit what Ohio State did or anything like that. I'm just saying, like,
Tennessee's
in
not really
general, like
that much of
the
a
Miami
Southern team.
Dolphins. Yeah, but I'm just talking like the kids that walk around in the weather all the time. They know what it feels like. They practice in the weather all the time. They know what that feels like. There's not this shock. Like, yeah, I'm not saying it's just this game. I'm saying in general, the Miami Dolphins, when they come to Cleveland this weekend, if it's cold, they're not going to want to be here. We saw it a couple weeks ago, San Francisco traveling to Buffalo. Buffalo blew them out. Is Buffalo that much better of a team than San Francisco is? I don't think so. But Buffalo's used to this weather. It's like, okay, we do this all the time. We're in this weather all the time. Whereas these other kids are like, by the third quarter, if you're down 2 scores or something like that, you're like, man, I'm so cold. Just get me back home to Tennessee, get me back home to Miami, get me home to San Francisco to where I don't have to deal with this crap anymore. I don't care. If we lose, whatever, we're already losing. So what? Like, you almost lose that fight in you to where you're like, I'm cold, I can't feel my toes, I'm just done with this. Whereas I think if you're in it all the time, you're just kind of you're numb to that feeling of being numb, I guess. And so I think, yeah, people talk about how it doesn't have effect. It's going to affect the game. And so and we've heard, let's not act like we haven't heard this all the time. That's what Big Ten teams say. Yeah, I'd like to see these SEC teams come up north and play in the cold weather where, it's black and blue and it's cold out and we'll just pound you left and right. And so, I mean, that's kind of what it did. The quarterback for Tennessee didn't look comfortable ever. He was looking like DTR this weekend. It was one read, and then where am I running to? And so he just never got comfortable. And so I mean
I feel
it was
bad
hard
for
to watch that offense.
Even SMU's quarterback, like, he didn't know what
Right?
was
No,
going
same
on.
thing. Same thing. You go from Dallas to Middle Pennsylvania, and you're like, "Oh, I didn't sign up for this crap." Yeah,
Right,
I agree. Same. I forgot about SMU. The same exact thing. Yeah, about playing in the cold weather. They're like, I want nothing to do with this. You tell yourself that it's not going to be a big deal, but it's going to be a big deal for you.
Well, give me your final four so we can move on to the Browns and talk about that disgusting display yesterday.
Trying not to here. I'll say Texas. I feel pretty good about Texas. Who's the other one? Penn State. I don't know about Penn State. I'm still not a huge believer, but their defense seems to play well, even if their offense doesn't. But so on the backs of that, I'll say Penn State. I really think Notre Dame's playing pretty well. So I would not be surprised if they beat Georgia. Georgia's just they've been disappointing this year. And whether it's been their quarterback or their whole team, I don't know. Maybe this backup who's playing will give them a spark or something like that. So I think that one's going to be close. I'll take Notre Dame in that one, to upset Georgia. And then, me, I'll go ahead. I'll put the jinx. I'll put the kibosh on Ohio State, and I'll say they're going to beat Oregon.
God, Brian, you're... All right, I'm going to say Ohio State, Texas, Penn State, Boise State. You know something? I'm still not a fan of Penn State. I'm going to go Boise State, and I'm going to go Notre Dame over Georgia because Georgia's got a new quarterback coming in. Notre Dame's been playing really good football. And that'd be my final four. Justin picked Ohio State, Notre Dame, Texas, and Boise also. So we'll see what happens. All right, Brian, let's talk about the wonderful shit show that was our Sunday with the Cleveland Browns.
Yeah.
Brian, it was disgusting. It was horrible. I wanted to throw up. Thank God I didn't even watch most of it because I was driving back from Columbus. I listened to it on the radio, and even hearing the radio guys talk about it was disgusting. Brian, the turnovers, the just sheer DTR. I mean, obviously, we don't have a quarterback for next year. that is up in the air right now. DTR is not moving any leaves for me. Brian, I don't know what to do with this team. Hey, Brian, we got a top 5 pick so far. That's a bonus, I guess. I mean, I don't know what to do with this team. Everybody says they're trying to win. They're not trying to win. You got Deontay Foreman out there fucking on a goal line stand when Jerome Ford got you down there, fumbled the ball. You got Jerry Jeudy getting 1 reception the entire game. Njoku had 8. Your quarterback ran for 50 yards, so don't tell me you're trying to win a game. And if you're not trying to win the game, then why are some of these guys even out there, Bri? I mean, you got Myles Garrett out there, got his 1 sack, got his 100th sack. First player in NFL history to get 100 sacks at the age of 29, Bri. At the age of 29. And we're just watching this whole carousel go around. And Cincinnati played horrible, Bri. Horrible. And you still couldn't beat them. You couldn't even come close to them.
Yeah, it was. I don't know. I don't know what to do with these games anymore. Like, I'm apathetic. It's like, yeah, you know, when stuff happens a certain way, I'm like not surprised or anything like that. Yeah, you know, the Browns, they're not really gonna put up much of a fight anymore. And I know the guys are going out there and they're trying their damnedest, but I don't know. I don't know what to feel. And at this point, you know, at what point do we stop breaking down these games and do we start talking about next year and the huge conversations that are going to happen? Because I mean, to me, it's already started just in the last 4 days with Myles Garrett stuff, comments, with the news that that Kirk Cousins is probably going to be let go by the Falcons. I think those are probably going to be your 2 biggest stories this offseason, unless you end up making a change at GM or at head coach. So yeah, I mean, yeah, it's going back to the Cincinnati game. Yeah, DTR is, you know, maybe he needs more seasoning. You know, maybe he's just always going to be this way. I would feel pretty bad, pretty crappy if I was relying on DTR to win a game that I had to have. Even though I thought he started showing some progress last year, but after seeing what he did on Sunday and his 1 read, and then let me look to run the ball, let me look to scramble, and he was having success, so you can't totally knock it. But you put up 7 points or 6 points, not even a extra point, and we'll get to that, I'm sure. But yeah, it's just it's a slow death march, like we've been saying, and yeah, I don't know how much you can really take from it anymore.
No, I mean, I can't.
You hope guys don't have these huge injuries that leak in next year. You know, at this point, you tear your ACL, you're putting in your Achilles or one of these long injuries, you're taking away games from next year. So eventually, you got to think of that.
And like, I'll be honest with you, Brian, I think Myles Garrett quit this game. He got his 1 sack, and then you didn't see him the rest of the game. And Brian, I don't even blame him. You know, you had Joe Thomas here for years that we pissed away his career. And right now it looks like we're doing the same thing with Myles Garrett and just pissing away his career. Just because we either A, can't get on the same page, or Bri, just the inconsistency with bringing people in and letting people go. And, you know, it all goes back, Bri, it circles back to Baker. I mean, if you look at everything that's happened through this regime, you know, they didn't believe in a certain somebody, and that's fine. He's doing pretty damn good in Tampa, even though he lost this Sunday, but he's the franchise guy down in Tampa. Guess what? They might be going to the playoffs, but where are we at? Nowhere fucking near it, Bri. I mean, it's frustrating to watch. And then also the other thing that's frustrating to watch, Bri, is that, you know, we do all this work, or I couldn't even say the front office does all this to bring in quarterbacks, to bring in all these people, and you're watching Bo Nix go out there and lead the Broncos probably to a playoff appearance. Jane Daniels leading these guys. Drake May didn't look bad against the Buffalo Bills. Not going to lie, Bri. Caleb Williams does not look bad, does he? You know, you're having all these guys.
Hasn't thrown a pick in 9 games.
you're watching all these guys, and it's like, why can't that be us? What did we do wrong that we can't get that? And it's because we are so damn indecisive with things, and we cannot let somebody develop here that needs to develop here. Or if they do come here, us being Browns fans, it's not good enough. It's not good enough to be 500. Get them out of here. We're 500. It's not good enough to be 500. We need to do better. Well, obviously, better did not work for us, Bri.
No. I mean, everything kind of goes back to the Deshaun Watson deal as much as, I feel like some people make it a bigger thing than it really is because, like you said, with all these quarterbacks, you draft a quarterback, you're right back in it. But he's the black hole that is affecting the team, and
I want to stop you right there.
Go ahead.
If you draft a quarterback, we're right in. Brian, we have never drafted a quarterback that has worked. We
Doesn't mean it's not impossible.
Are you sure it's not impossible? Because it's been impossible for 30 years for us.
Yeah, I understand, but all it takes is one guy to turn it around. Basically, you look how bad Denver was last year. Look how bad the Commanders have been lately. It's one quarterback, and I think we're competent everywhere else. We might not be great, but we're competent everywhere else. And certainly if we were in the discussion for the playoffs, you'd probably be seeing a different effort. You'd probably see different guys out there. But I don't know. It goes back to my frustration at the beginning of the year when I'm hearing Browns fans like rooting for Deshaun Watson to tank and rooting for Deshaun Watson to crap the bed to get him out of here. And I told you, be careful what you wish for, because this is all coming. We are where, like, the Deshaun haters, and not to crush Justin, but we know he's a Deshaun hater. This is what he wanted. It's still unclear if he's a Browns fan or not, but as Browns, he's not the only one. There's plenty of Browns fans that are out there that wanted Deshaun Watson to fail miserably. And, I say, what do I say? Hey, congratulations, you got what you wanted.
But there's a reason why they wanted to fail. You realize that, Brian. It's not because he's going to be the Browns quarterback. There's reasons behind it. There was the allegations that are just notorious, and then also the complete guaranteed money. No, any NFL quarterback has got complete guaranteed money, but we had to guarantee it to get him here. But
so you root against your quarterback because he has guaranteed money?
I rooted against Deshaun Watson for the other things, Brian. And you know that. I'm not going to shy away from that.
Well, and I mean, it's still up in the air. I mean, it's easy to say that kind of stuff now, but there were a lot of people that were saying that. I mean, in the court of law, he was found, I don't know, not guilty. So for whatever that means, I don't really feel like getting into that now. But
right, it doesn't mean you're still not a piece of shit.
But
I mean,
well, if you believe what he's been accused of, then yeah, he's a piece of shit. I don't, like I said, him, these women, and God know what actually happened. So, I mean, they tell me he's not in jail. He's allowed to play football. So he's a quarterback and it's a difficult situation to put a fan in. I understand. If you believe what he's being accused of, then yeah, I understand that it would be difficult. But at the same time, I'm just sick of it. I want my team to do well, and that's all that I want. And I shouldn't be felt like I'm a terrible person for rooting my favorite team on. So when I hear other people call themselves Browns fans and root against the team that they claim to be fans of, this is what you get. You get a mess. You get your best player, to bring it back to Myles Garrett, you get your best player talking about how he wants out. You get all this dead salary cap money. The Browns it's a mess. It's an absolute mess. But this is what some fans claim they want. So, it might take a couple of years to turn it around. there's several Browns fans that are diehards out there that will be dead by the time the Browns are good again. So that's why I root for the Browns to win every time they take the field. If that means, rooting for a guy that some people claim should be in jail, all I can do is root for the people that put on the brown and orange every Sunday.
Doesn't mean you got to be a fan favorite of them, Bri.
I'm still allowed to root for my team. I mean,
you can root for your team all you want to.
Jersey.
And I root for your team all you want to, but it doesn't mean you have to root for that guy.
It kind of does. When quarterbacks is important you go down the line and show me a playoff team where their quarterback's not playing well.
Oh, Justin, I'm not putting that up there. Had something to do with P. Diddy.
Oh boy.
So
see, these are the discussions that are just kind of always bubbling underneath with everything, and it always comes back to that, and it's just at this
Brian,
point
it's always going to
I'm ready to just I know, and that's what I'm understanding. It's always going to come back to that. So like at this point,
there's no taking that.
I'm done. Off. No, right, and I know, and he could even be. You could go to trial and be found not guilty, and people are still going to say what people are going to say. So it's always going to come up as long as I don't know. I'm kind of done with it, as a lot of people are, for many different reasons. But as I told you last week, the easiest fix for the Cleveland Browns, if you're a true Browns fan, the easiest fix for you is for Deshaun Watson to play well, and that smooths everything else over. But
I'm watching Justin having an aneurysm down here.
They want to go through hell
in the background.
Oh,
Justin is just having an aneurysm.
I don't even know if we'll get to his book tonight. He's just going to come on and.
The best thing is I'm seeing him sitting there going.
But he's not a Browns fan, right?
He is a Browns fan.
Is he a Browns fan?
Yes.
I thought he was a Bengals fan.
Northern Kentucky.
Is he a Bengals fan?
No, he's not a Bengals fan. He's a Browns fan. He really is. He just has very strong opinions.
Well, right. And for Justin, it's personal, and we won't get into that.
Right. Well, Bri, I'm not even going to pick the next game because the Dolphins are going to win. Right? I mean, let's just be honest. It's not even Dolphins are going to come here to Cleveland. They're going to win. And I mean, do you want to try to pick this game? Because I think I did pretty good this past game.
What did you have?
I think I had like 31-13 or something.
And what was the final? 24-6?
Yeah.
Yep. 34-13. So yeah, you were in the ballpark. I mean, at least for the winning margin. No, I don't. At this point, I don't care to. I mean, the only thing that's going to save the Browns is the Dolphins' inability to play in cold weather. That's the only reason we have a shot at this game. Other than that, I mean, yeah, like you said, Myles Garrett got his 100th sack. What's the point in him taking the field anymore unless he wants to try to win a Defensive Player of the Year? Exactly. I mean, other guys, yeah. I like I said last week. At this point, I wouldn't hate seeing Bailey Zappi out there. I just feel like DTR. This was his best chance. You're going against the pathetic Bengals defense, and you score one touchdown. And now I know. I guess I didn't watch a ton of the first half because we were out running errands. But I was keeping an eye on it. And I guess we fumbled on the goal line. Foreman fumbled on the goal line.
Ford got a 66-yard run. They got down to the 1-yard line, and he went to punch it in, and the ball got punched out and fumbled on the goal line. And then that's when
I think he's done that before.
And that's when Cincinnati had like the 98-yard touchdown run for the touchdown coming back.
98-yard touchdown run?
or pass or whatever the hell it was. Like it was like the longest.
Really, just one play covered 98 yards?
Oh god, it was not good.
Holy cow! Jeez,
I think
no, I didn't know that.
It might have been a 98-yard drive. I don't care. It wasn't pretty. And then after that, the game was over with. The first half, the Browns couldn't even get a first down. They were like 3 and 13 on third downs. It was just Brian. It was awful. The offensive line back to not blocking again. DTR was running for his life. Right, it didn't miss much. Let's just put it that way.
Right, and that's why I didn't go back and kind of try to rehash what happened in the first half. I saw we had 15 yards passing or something in the first half, and I'm like, okay,
yeah, it wasn't.
I don't need to go back and look at that. So I just and they have moments in the second half where they look like a competent offense, but yeah, again, a lot of it was DTR running the ball and making guys miss with his legs, but that's not sustainable for a quarterback. So I don't know what you do from here on out, to be honest. I don't really care as long as we stay healthy relatively and we don't lose parts for next year. We're not having guys miss games next year. And I really don't care what happens these last 2 games.
All right, well, let's get off of this. Let's get Justin in here. Justin, now listen to me. You're on rations, all right? I see your hands up. You're on rations.
He's allowed to rebut that.
I will give you 2 minutes to rebut your statement, and then we are doing hookers and blow for Christmas. As he's giggling right now. This is right. I wish you would have seen him in the back.
I would give him more time. 2 minutes? Come on, that's not enough time.
Go ahead. I mean, you heard our conversation about the Browns. Throw in your 2 cents.
Bad teams have bad owners. The Haslams bought the team in 2012. Since then, they've had 2 winning seasons. Who were the head coaches of those winning seasons?
Kevin Stefanski.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No, I get it, bud.
That's
good?
all I'm gonna say.
You good now?
So you're a Stefanski fan.
Oh, you even did a screwball too. Oh man, you really got him fired up, Brian. He was.
Oh, there you go. Hey, cheers to that. Merry Christmas.
And I just seen him talking to me personally as he's just sitting there, and I'm like, I know what words you're saying. You know, I get it, Justin. I got it. All right, well, Justin, you do read children's books on your Running Bald Man show. You got the hookers and blow with you?
I have hookers and blow.
Save Christmas. So welcome to the first ever Illegal Ham the Face and Network 216 reading of Hookers and Blow Save Christmas by Running Bald Man Justin. Take it away, Justin.
So this is Hookers and Blow Save Christmas. But let's get into it. It was Christmas Eve in the small town of Pleasant. Everyone was excited to soon open their presents. The weather was cold, with deep piles of snow. Officer Bob called Hookers and Blow. I mean, Hookers and Blow would warm me up, too.
I think it would warm anybody up.
Tom Transport is loaded with cards, candy, and gifts, but broke down out of town and is stuck in some snowdrifts. We need all those presents for the big party today. No problem, said Hookers. We can help right away.
I love this.
The snow was quite deep and covered the road. Blow got to work, blowing and could handle the load. Yeah, I bet he could. They traveled down Main Street and straight out of town, drove up on Mount Dexter, and then all the way down. Just round the bend, Tom Transport soon did appear, all covered in snow, right up to his mirrors.
Can't even focus now.
Blow cleared away the snow. It didn't take long. Now hookers could check what might have gone wrong.
Great.
Hookers reached around and popped up Tom's big hood. Oh, yeah. Attached booster capers and said, crank it real good. Tom stuttered and sputtered, then started to groan. Oh. His tired old engine just might be blown.
I gotta mute myself.
Tom moaned. The snow in the hills were maybe too much. I might have broken a piston or wore out the clutch. I hear they make a pill for that. No problem, said Hookers. I'm a big tow truck, you see. We'll get to town quickly. You, Blow, and me. With Tom mounted on Hookers, Blow plowed through the snow. They headed for town, driving careful and slow. Hookers got on the radio and called up ahead. Police Officer Bob, we have Tom, but his engine is dead. The snow kept on falling. Blow was blowing real hard. But we'll get there in time with candy, presents, and cards. Across the bridges and train tracks, Blow leading the way, up and down old Mount Dexter. They soon made up the delay. They drove straight up Main Street while everyone smiled. Tom loaded with presents for each and every child. They arrived at the party, and there was a great cheer, for Hookers and Blow had made it the best day of the year. And really, any day with Hookers and Blow is the best day of the year.
Zing!
And that was how Hookers and Blow saved Christmas.
Oh, I love it. Thank you, Justin. I love it.
Thank you.
Now, Justin, we're getting ready to get into Fat Boy Tuesday. Give us some of your favorite Christmas foods, bud.
Oh. The shortbread candy cane cookies.
Shortbread candy cane cookies.
The ones that are shaped like a candy cane are red and white.
Mm-hmm. I know exactly what you're talking about. Nice.
I
put you on the spot. And
I love my cranberry sauce. I make it Halloween or Thanksgiving and Christmas. So my Thanksgiving sauce or Thanksgiving cranberry sauce. I put little mandarin oranges in a bag of cranberries and make my sauce out of that.
Nice.
That sounds good. Oh, I've never had that.
So the oranges add a different flavor to them?
They help cut down some of the tartness.
I got you.
Huh. Sounds real good.
Give me one more.
My grandmother's orange Jello salad. So it's orange Jello, and it's got bananas and pineapple, solidified within the Jello. Then you use the pineapple juice for a dressing that goes on top of that. Cover that in Cool Whip, and then sprinkle pecans.
Now you say pecans; they're not pecans.
Wow,
pecans.
Okay,
pecans.
It's very unique. That sounds delicious, though.
That actually does sound delicious.
Yeah, I've never heard of something like that before.
growing up, that was what I looked forward to every year because we would always go over to their house on the actual holiday, and she would always make that for Easter, Thanksgiving, Christmas, New Year's Day. And that would be the first thing I would go for was that Jello salad.
I don't blame you on that one, man. That sounds fantastic.
Oh, it's great.
Jocelyn's in here now. Hey, bro. Hey, Bri. Jocelyn, hopefully you got to catch the Hookers and Blow reading.
I'm disappointed. I didn't get a hello from Jocelyn.
Well, I don't know. She just hopped on, so I don't know if she'll throw in a hello or not. She might throw in some other words, though.
She's too good for bald people.
Well, hey, I can't say it now. I can't say it. I got to retract that one. I got to bring it back. Bring it back. All right. Justin, bud, thank you so much for always watching and joining us when we need somebody. Merry Christmas to you and your family. I love you, brother. I hope all is well. And we will catch you next time. Hopefully you can be in the comments when Brian and I start talking crap on New Year's.
I'll be in bed by then.
Okay.
Because
all right.
I'll have to work on but New Year's Eve. You better be sorry. I'll come up there and kick your ass.
Well, hey, it's halfway between me and you. So if you go down there, I'll meet you down there. We'll go get a beer.
Well, there we go.
All right.
You're more than welcome down here. You guys are. I got an extra room. Got a queen size blow up mattress. More than welcome to it.
Brian, that's down in Kentucky.
I love
buddy.
it.
We could have some fun.
I love
there.
Kentucky. Big fan of Kentucky.
All right, Justin, thank you so much, bud. Catch him at Running Bald Man on YouTube. Just type in Running Bald Man. The Hookers and Blow book that he read to us. There's other books that he reads that are freaking fantastic. So please go check them out.
I do have a new one coming out tomorrow night. It's Krampus, a Christmas message.
Oh, okay. All right, stay tuned. All right, Justin, thank you, brother.
All right, see you guys later.
Merry Christmas. See you, Justin.
Merry Christmas. Brian, I don't know what to do with it. That book is horrible. I mean, horrible. Who thinks
how the heck did he find it?
Dude, it's been that way for years. Like I couldn't believe it was a Christmas book, and then you start reading it, Bri, and then you're adult male, semi-perverted, things start going different way. But let's get into our God damn, I'm still giggling about that. All right, let's get into our Fat Boy Tuesday.
And now it's time for Fat Boy Tuesday.
On a Monday special. Bri, let's talk some Christmas food.
Sure.
Bud. What are some of your favorite Christmas foods?
Boy, I mean, I struggle to. Our family doesn't really have anything that is unique to Christmas. It's a lot of kind of the same stuff as Thanksgiving. Just off the top of my head, I've told you before, my wife's family used to do. I don't think they even do it anymore. I'll have to report back next week. They used to do meatballs and spaghetti for Christmas, but I feel like ever since my wife's grandmother passed, they don't do that anymore. But the one thing that we do, other than Christmas cookies, my wife's family got together, did the Christmas cookies. That's kind of a whole thing we covered last week. But the other thing is and I know your aunt does it also, is the Chex Mix. And so my grandma used to do it. My wife's grandma used to do it. Now my aunt does it, and my wife on her side of the family is kind of taken over doing it. And so she makes it. She just made it yesterday, and we have like these big roaster pans full of this stuff. And so that's largely why I put on like 10 pounds throughout the holidays, because that stuff is just so accessible. And last year, I think she added, it was typical, like your aunt does, I think, all the Chex, pretzels, peanuts, mixed nuts. My wife added last year bugles. So that kind of gave it a little something extra. This year, she's putting in Cheez-Its. So, I mean, it's just the calories are going up and up and up, and the delicious factor is going up and up and up. So, yeah, your boy's going to be putting on a couple pounds over the next week and a half, I'd say.
That's okay. That's what you're supposed to do for Christmas.
Right. Not to mention all the cookies that we have sitting out in our sunroom right now.
Yeah, like I gotta say, my sister's sugar cookies. We made them this weekend. Sugar cookies are on the list there. I was telling my sister, everybody always does like a ham. My mom's cheesy potatoes. Me and my sister have talked about this. My mom makes a macaroni salad and a cheesy potato that no matter if you have the recipe, it still never tastes the same as the way she makes it. I don't know what it is about it. I don't know how she does it. I can get the recipe and try to do it myself. It's never the same, Bri. Never the same. And I've tried multiple times. Also, Bri, okay, one thing I have missed, and I talked to my sister about this, and I don't know if you've ever had this because, you get finger foods at Christmas because everybody's kind of doing stuff. You remember the pickles with the cream cheese and the deep fry or the dried beef around them? We used to get that at my aunt's all the time. God, I love those. I miss those so much right now. I don't know what it is. Like, I've just been craving it. I'm going to have to actually make some myself. But that was one thing that we always had. Also, with my family, we haven't had it in a while. Oysters. Christmas Eve oysters were huge. Huge in my
Actual
family.
oysters?
Actual oysters. We would do raw oysters and then baked oysters. Not the oyster crackers.
I gotcha. That's what I was getting at. You sparked my memory that's what my grandma used to make, oyster crackers with like the ranch seasoning on it.
Yes.
Oh man, I could crush that stuff. And Christmas is the only time I'd ever get it.
Puppy chow. Gotta love puppy chow.
Puppy chow. My cousin makes a mean puppy chow. Yeah.
And the other thing I really like for Christmas that doesn't get its due, because everybody's worried about the ham and everything else, the pies, the dessert afterwards. There's always it wouldn't be a pumpkin pie, but there's always like an apple pie or a chocolate pie afterwards. Like my aunt made my wife an apple pie. I got my black raspberry pie, which I cannot wait to get into here in a little bit. But just the dessert side of Christmas, you get the cookies, you get the pies. Justin said key lime pie. Jocelyn, no bake cookies.
Love key lime pie.
No bake cookies, Bri. We killed them this weekend. Not only that, but like 3 pounds of shrimp this weekend. I'm not gonna lie. we put hurting on some shrimp this weekend.
One thing I forgot about that my aunt makes, Adam's mom makes, and it's along the same lines. It's Chex Mix, but I believe she adds like M&Ms or peanut M&Ms to it, and then just douses the whole thing in white chocolate. No raisins or anything like that. But it's Chex Mix. She adds M&Ms, and then the whole thing gets thrown in a pot with white chocolate. So it's white chocolate covered. So forget what it's called. I don't really know, but yeah, we always have it at Christmas time.
All right, Jocelyn said monkey bread on Christmas morning.
That sounds delicious.
I've never had monkey bread. Why is this? What's monkey bread? She's got to get it in the comments. Brad, do you know what monkey bread is?
It's like a sweet roll, or a sweet, what did we call them? Honey buns. We kind of called them honey buns at the Apple Farm. And so it's like a big thing of bread, but they're like little things that you can pull apart, and it's like honey or maple syrup or something like that.
Oh,
so it's kind of, it's bread, but it's sweet. But yeah, you can pull it apart and grab yourself a little bit.
All right, kiddo. I'm sorry. I know what you're talking about now. It finally dawned on me what you're talking about. Because we always got it like a cinnamon roll, but you pull it apart. Yeah.
Right.
Okay. Yep. Now I get it. I know exactly what you're talking about. For us, it's donuts. Going out tomorrow to get donuts for tomorrow morning. Can't wait.
Where from?
Normally we hit up Dunkin', but if we can't hit up Dunkin', we just hit up a Giant Eagle, get the glazed donuts. That way it's a quick, easy breakfast because the kids are going to be going nuts opening presents. And that way they can just grab, go, and then just have fun afterwards. We don't have to worry about, wasting time making a breakfast and all that kind of stuff. Brian, now this year we're going to do a little different in our house. Now, normally we do a ham and all that stuff. But right now, Brian, We're doing something I haven't had in a while. We're doing meatloaf. Meatloaf, some mashed potatoes and gravy, some mixed vegetables. Jocelyn said the Grinch donuts at Dunkin'. Oh,
Doesn't sound bad.
Brian, so do you guys have anything that you guys are doing for your Christmas, or are you guys going to be traveling for Christmas?
No. So we'll go down. Saturday is when we're going to be celebrating with my wife's side of the family. Big, 50, 60 people get together for a few hours. Tomorrow, like I said, we're going to be going to church, and then we go to my aunt and uncle's in Brunswick. We might have some time to kill in between church and when they're going to be ready for us to come over. So I was thinking we might stop at Donut Land in Brunswick to get some donuts there.
Okay.
But Christmas morning, we'll have my mom over. We'll have my mother-in-law over. Baby's first Christmas. There are going to be plenty of pictures taken. But then we'll just kind of hang out most of the day. And then I think we're going down to my brother-in-law's down in Ashland County for dinner, maybe around 4 o'clock or so. And I believe he's doing a brisket. So he's big into smoking, always prepares some great food for us. So I'll be eating well Christmas night.
You definitely be eating well. All right, Brian, let's get into our trivia, which is brought to you by City Dogs Cleveland. If you cannot adopt, please volunteer, donate, whatever you can do to help out City Dogs. Just like the beautiful dogs we have here, Gazelle, and all the other beautiful dogs at City Dogs Cleveland. If you have some Christmas tradition foods that you love, hit us up in the comments on all of our socials at Ham Illegal. And I'll get back to you as soon as we can, and especially stuff that we've never heard of before. Like at the time it was monkey bread, but I just thought it was cinnamon rolls. So there is Gazelle. Please go adopt her at City Dogs Cleveland. Bri, what was the trivia you gave me at the beginning of the show?
Here's the trivia. College sports. There have currently, since 2010, been 6 schools that have been ranked at any point number 1 in basketball and also number 1 in football. So you got Michigan already. That was one of them. Yep.
Oregon.
Not Oregon. No. Good guess, though.
Texas.
Texas is 1, correct. You got 2 of 6.
Alabama
also there. 3 of 6, halfway there.
Oklahoma
also there. Well done.
All
2
right.
left.
All right, 2 left. Notre Dame.
Nope. Good guess. Also, Notre Dame. Second strike.
Georgia.
Not Georgia. Also good guess because they had Anthony Edwards. So the clue that I was going to give you, and you already got one of them, think rivalries.
Ohio State. Was Ohio State 1 at one point in time?
Yep. Michigan, Ohio State.
Okay.
Correct.
All right.
There's one. You got Texas, Alabama, or Texas, Oklahoma.
Auburn?
Alabama, Auburn. Yep, there you go.
Oh,
so those three of the biggest rivalries in college sports are the 6 teams that have been ranked number 1, which is a little surprising, but
completely forgot about Auburn.
Yeah, they've been pretty good in basketball lately, and then they had the run with Cam Newton, so they were number 1 there.
All right. Damn, Brian, that's a great trivia.
Fun one.
Kudos to you. Thank you for that one. All right,
Oregon
Brian,
Oregon, all your guesses were good ones. Oregon, I would have thought probably would have been there. And
I started thinking
Notre
back
Dame.
of the teams that were number 1 in college football that could have been number 1 in basketball. So like Alabama was one that came to mind. Texas was one that came to mind because I know they had like a couple years with like, it was before Durant, but you know what I mean? like you had, the years of like Oregon. I remember Oregon having a good basketball team, but I don't know if they ever made it to number one. So that was kind of my
Right,
basis
and
on
as
things.
you can expect, there are a bunch more college basketball teams that have been ranked number one than college football teams. College football teams, I want to say there are probably only 15 to 20
Yeah.
that have been ranked number one.
All right, Brian. Well, let's get in our top three and let's get fastidious with our top three Christmas songs. All right,
I
Brian.
like that word. Fastidious. That's a good one.
Do you want to go?
I still don't know what a Sun Cruiser is. What's a Sun Cruiser?
Sun Cruisers are they're a new drink with vodka and tea, but they're not as sweet as Twisted Tea. So it's actually real tea, real vodka, and just like it's 1 gram of sugar, but they're so freaking good, Bri. So freaking good.
Okay, I'll remember that. You go ahead.
Okay, number 3 for me, Bri. You cannot kick off Christmas without a little Jingle Bell Rock. Cannot go wrong with that one. Number 2 for me, and I remember singing this as a kid. Grandma got ran over by a reindeer. Can't go wrong with that. And Bri, number 1, we're kicking it old school with Wham. Last Christmas, I gave you my heart. The very next day. There you go. Those are my top 3.
Not the Taylor Swift version?
Nope. Not Taylor Smith.
All right. Okay. All right. Just making sure. Clarification there. Okay. Good. All classics. I got some that maybe are not classics, but you've probably heard of them. I don't know. Maybe my number 1 you haven't heard of. It's kind of a cult classic. I couldn't decide on my number 3, so I got 3A and 3B. They're both kind of guilty pleasures. Where Are You Christmas? Faith Hill. You ever heard that one?
Yeah, I've heard that one.
From The Grinch, I think. The other one, Kelly Clarkson, Underneath the Christmas Tree. Really good song.
All right.
You've never heard that one?
No.
Oh, yeah. No, it'll get stuck in your head. And then number 2, I'm guessing you probably haven't heard of it unless you listen to country radio, but it's Montgomery Gentry. I had to put him on there. Merry Christmas from the Family. Not necessarily the most politically correct song. Talks about sister bringing home a Mexican and AA going to AA. So yeah, it's probably 20 years old. But it's a good laugh. And then number 1, Dominic the Donkey. Have you ever heard of Dominic the Donkey?
I have not heard Dominic the Donkey.
Oh, jiggity jig, hee haw, hee haw. Dominic, the Italian Christmas donkey. Oh, it's hilarious. My wife and I, as soon as Christmas season hits, I'm playing it, and then we're humming it throughout the house. And it's a stupid song, but it's great. Yeah, you gotta listen to that one. Put it on. Right. Put it on for your wife this Christmas.
All right. Justin said Christmas in Hollis, the Grinch song, and Christmas Can from Straight No Chaser. All right.
Never heard that. I'll have to check those out.
I'm going to have to check yours out here a little bit later.
Oh, Dominic the Donkey's fantastic.
I can't wait. It sounds fantastic. It's like Grandma got ran over by a reindeer, right?
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Eric, go ahead.
No, that's it. Sketchy.
Okay. Everybody, thank you for joining us for our Christmas special. Please go give us a like, subscribe at Ham Illegal and Network 216. Bri, Merry Christmas to you and your family, brother. Hopefully we'll see you around the holidays. Justin, you're still down there in the bottom. I still see you. Brother, thank you for coming on, reading Hookers and Blow to us. I appreciate everything you do for us too, comments-wise and everything. Thank you so much. Everybody's family, thank you. First responders and military, cannot thank you guys enough. I hope everybody gets home safe for the holidays. Just spend some time with family and friends. But Bri, our show is over, and as we always do, Bri, God bless him.
God is great. Merry Christmas to all. God bless you and your family. God bless America.
We are definitely uncorked, unloaded, and we are out. Thank you so much for watching, and Merry Christmas.